Welcome back for another helping of oysters, clams, and cockles, presented by Bolin Media. I am Ross Bolin here with Barrett Dudley to discuss what we will be covering next, what we've watched recently aside from Task and The Wire Season 1, including Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, and much more. How are you, Barrett?
I'm doing just fine and dandy. Happy to, we've been neck deep in crime drama.
We have.
Whether it's
so much crime drama.
Whether it's Task or The Wire or whatever else. And so we haven't gotten a chance to do this in quite some time.
No, I'm kind of excited.
And there are more shows than Task and The Wire Season 1. So I know people are out there watching other stuff.
They are.
Yeah.
Some of them are, yeah.
Some of them are, yeah.
Halloween week.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of spooky content for us today.
Oh.
I mean, it's on brand for Halloween week anyway.
Okay. I'm struggling with my office Halloween costume this year. Let me run something by you. I don't have a good culturally, like a culture reference this year. I like to do those. I don't have a good office in-joke, which is like a surefire way to win prizes. So I'm thinking about just going randomly creepy. How do you feel about Chucky from Child's Play? What is if
Not
I just
good.
If I just show up as Chucky from Child's Play, is that
like going all out with it?
I would attempt the Bride of Chucky like facial scarring. Yeah.
Were you like big into Chucky?
No, I don't even think I've ever seen the original Child's Play. I'm trying to I'm grasping at straws here.
Why can't you just do Leo from One Battle After Another robed up? Because everybody's gonna do it. Because it's too.
I thought about that, and it just feels like it's like. I don't know if enough people saw it. Despite people saying that this is the best movie ever created, it didn't do that well at the box office, believe it or not.
Well, I mean, what is it?
It did fine.
It's subjective.
It's just losing money because it costs like $250 million.
Well, they spent like $100 million on marketing.
Right.
That was.
And Leo.
That was too much money on marketing.
I don't think Leo took a discount for this one.
Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah. So
it is. I don't think it's broken even.
It is not broken even yet, and I think the studio probably had a good idea that it wasn't going to like live up to the crazy budget that it had, and I think they're counting on the fact that it will most likely clean up at the Oscars.
Yeah.
To give it that kind of like second wind, and kind of push it over the finish line.
Well, and I saw
but
commentary from Warner Brothers, who put this thing out, because somebody asked them, like, hey, y'all are going to lose like $100 million here. Problematic, no? And they were like, they pointed to all the other billion-dollar movies they've had come out this year,
right?
Such as Minecraft. They were like, look,
Warner Brothers
pumping out this slop for you morons so that we can make the billion-dollar movies and then still do some of this actual high-quality shit. So it seems like this sort of was anticipated on some level, I have to imagine.
Yeah.
Well, to answer your question about Chucky, if you can do it, like, all out, and I don't know where you're going to get a wig for, because you got to have real long hair. I don't know if your hair's long enough.
No, I would get the red little... The
red wig?
The red bob, essentially.
Yeah. Then, I want to see you dressed up like that. So I vote for that.
Yeah, don't you think that it just like will get more kind of like, oh shit, than Leo from One Battle After Another?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll be like, this guy's a psycho. What's wrong with him?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go for it.
You should do that. I'm being a baseball player for Halloween, not nearly as scary.
Baseball stuff?
Yeah, my 2-year-old, that's essentially the exact conversation we had.
Yeah.
What do you want to be for Halloween, buddy? Baseball player. All right, what should daddy be? Baseball player.
Okay.
So I had to order baseball pants off Amazon.
Nice.
So I'll be wearing baseball pants for the first time in 20 years. Ladies, if you want to come see that.
Sick.
My twigs.
Yeah, put that on your OnlyFans.
I will. Okay, so up next for us, episodic coverage-wise, on the old public platforms here, is Vince Gilligan's upcoming Pluribus, which will be on Apple TV+. The series premieres November 7th. Barrett and I will drop our series premiere companion podcast on November 7th, because when things, quote-unquote, drop on Apple, they actually come out 24 hours before the drop date for some reason. Nobody knows.
Here's what's happening. Here's what I'm pretty sure is happening.
is it time zone related?
Yes. And so when they say that it's like when it comes out Friday,
November 7th.
It's November 7th at 6 p.m. or 4 p.m. or whatever. I'm pretty sure the very first time zone in the world, which is basically Australia, they're just going off of that.
So whenever that hits.
And whenever that hits, the whole service gets it no matter where you are in the world. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening.
Huh.
Because, yeah, I think the numbers track. I think the hours align there.
Another show we're about to talk about in a few minutes, Slow Horses. Doesn't that drop Wednesday?
Yes.
So you can actually watch it
Tuesdays.
Yeah.
It's
honestly, I really like it because it's like a little pleasant surprise if you forget what day it is and go and check and it's there a day early. But yeah, so for the first episode, we will definitely be putting out our companion podcast the day it drops, technically November 7th, which is a Friday, because we will be watching it on November 6th, which is a Thursday. So if you want to get on track with us at the beginning of this thing, go ahead and watch it on Thursday. Vince Gilligan, of course, extremely famous for the success of both Breaking Bad and its follow-up prequel. Better Call Saul's a prequel, right?
It's a prequel. Yes.
Prequel.
Yes.
Better Call Saul, which was also phenomenal. Barrett enjoyed it more than the original Breaking Bad.
I sure did.
He also did writing on the X-Files back in the day. He's had an enormously successful career.
Very successful.
He has not missed as a creator, right? As a creator, producer, writer. So for that reason, we are very excited about Pluribus. That being said, not the easiest show to get super excited about because you can't frickin' tell what it's about.
Yeah, the trailers have been, well, really, what they've been is teasers. They've barely been trailers at all.
Yeah, there's almost no plot.
The most recent one at least gives us like a little something, right? Like where the Ray Seahorn character is on the phone and looking at the TV, and like somebody that looks very Reagan-esque is talking to her through the TV, potentially. I don't know. Like, there's like...
Yeah, she's taking a phone call, but they're also speaking directly to her via the television.
But despite not knowing a lot and not being able to really, like, project what this TV show is about, I think what we can understand and why we're so excited about it is, one, you obviously just laid out that Vince Gilligan is extremely talented and hasn't really missed yet. But two, it seems like it's going to maybe kind of play a little bit in that like broad sci-fi but in the real world lane, which is very successful and gives us a lot to talk about with a show like Severance, for example.
Yeah, I was going to say one of the comps that I am forced to make watching these trailers is Severance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I agree. Rhea Seahorn? That's how you pronounce it? Rhea?
I think it's Ray.
Or just Ray?
But I actually don't know.
Well, she was Kim Wexler. In Better Call Saul. She was fantastic.
Criminally underrated as Kim Wexler.
Yeah. Well, the whole show is criminally underrated in terms of awards recognition. But the synopsis for Pluribus is that it's a science fiction series from Vince Gilligan starring Ray Seahorn as Carol, the most miserable person on Earth, who must save the world from a mysterious virus that spreads happiness and optimism. And that's it. And in the trailer, you're not getting a whole lot other than it seems like everyone else on Earth is maybe brainwashed, and she's the only person who's still sane.
Okay.
And that's that. So I kind of like this, that they're not giving us a whole lot.
I agree.
This feels like a strategy that more and more people are taking.
Yeah.
Like a route that more and more people are taking. More
I don't know
creatives.
if it's the best way to build buzz, but maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, because even for One Battle After Another, which we'll review shortly, the trailer did nothing for us, really.
Right.
You know, I couldn't really tell what it was about. I couldn't really tell what it didn't really hook me.
Yeah.
You know?
No hook.
No hook, Barrett. So excited for Pluribus, but also don't really know what to make of it. Yeah. And given Vince Gilligan's track record and Ray Seahorn's track record, I'm quite sure we are in for a treat. I'm just not sure how that treat's going to taste yet.
Indeed.
So that's what we'll be firing up next, starting next Friday here, wherever you are enjoying our show today. We will have our companion podcast for the series premiere of Pluribus. No screeners yet for this one, Barrett.
No.
But I'm doing my best.
Yeah. Do we just email timapple@apple.com?
That's it. That's the email address. Right. And we say, Tim, We're going to do Pluribus on OCC. We know you're a subscriber.
This is okay. See, I can't. This is one where I feel like they should just be handing them out like candy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they should be.
Like, but maybe they're just holding this one so close to the vest. Maybe that's
Seems to be the case. I can't even find more than like a 3 major cast members.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like the IMDb is confusing. It's they don't want us to know. They don't want us to know, which is a little exciting. So that's what we will have up next. Pluribus. Watch it with us. Tune into the podcast. We'll discuss it and figure out what it's about together.
Huzzah.
Yay. Now it is time for our discussion and review of One Battle After Another, which is brought to you by Raycon. This message is sponsored by Raycon. It's Raycon's anniversary, and what better way to celebrate than with a deal on the Everyday Earbuds Classic. They are now 20% off. So it's the perfect time for you to get your hands on these. Reliable, super comfy, easy to take anywhere. You will see why they have been a fan favorite since day one. The Everyday Earbuds Classic are loaded with upgrades, active noise cancellation, multi-point connectivity so you can pair with 2 devices at once, and an ergonomic fit that actually stays put no matter what you are doing, whether it be running or working out or whatever. The new colors are a vibe. I'm into the carbon black. I wear a lot of black. They're slick, they're clean. It feels like less like just earbuds and more like an accessory that matches me and my whole vibe, which, as everyone knows, is awesome. Everyday features that live up to the name. Quick charge, 10 minutes gives you 90 minutes of playtime. How about that? Up to 32 hours of battery life with the case. It's got awareness mode, perfect when I'm walking the dog or running errands, so I stay tuned into what's happening around me without missing a beat. Plus, over 3 million customers already love Raycons, and they come with a 30-day happiness guarantee, so if you don't love them, returns are easy, so you have nothing to lose. These days, I feel like everyone has on the same old boring headphones or earphones. Raycon gives you more style, more flair, and a perfect fit for your ears. I've been wearing mine for a couple of weeks now, and they're just as good, if not better, than my old shit. So if you're in the market, I highly recommend them. Go to buyraycon.com/oysters to get 20% off the Everyday Earbuds Classic. That's buyraycon.com/oysters for 20% off the Everyday Earbuds Classic. Link and details in the description of this episode. Now enjoy our review of Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another, brought to you by Raycon. All right, Barrett, we both managed to get to theaters, separately even, to see One Battle After Another. We haven't really discussed. How'd you like this bad boy?
I thought it was quite good.
You had issues with the hype factor.
I did feel like I got a little bit overhyped, which is that's always a problem. Like people feel very, very strongly about this movie, as I kind of mentioned just a few minutes ago. Before I saw this, I was hearing things like masterpiece, or brilliant masterpiece, best movie of the decade, if not the century, right? Basically, best movie since 2000. Magnum opus from PTA, like all just like very. I don't even want to say hyperbolic, because I don't think people were trying to gas the movie up. They just genuinely felt like this was one of the best movies they had ever seen. And so you put that on this film, and like it's very, very hard to go in and have it completely live up to expectations. I think the further I've gotten away from it, the more and more I appreciate it, because it's a movie that will stay with you. It will sit with you. You will think about it. You will remember characters. You will remember scenes and certain shots and incredible filmmaking. So at the end of the day, I mean, like, it's not like I'm ranking it any lower than an A. But I did leave maybe just a touch underwhelmed because of the massive hype that I went in with. Yeah,
the one that got me was best movie of the last 10 years, and I was like, okay, we'll see. Like people, I feel like at this point I have enough. I'm enough of a veteran internet user to just know, ignore it. Until you get in there and see for yourself. But it was difficult to know what to expect here, not only because the trailer didn't really paint much of a clear picture in terms of what the plot was going to be like, which, again, I don't mind. I hate it when I see the whole movie's laid out in the plot, which is often the case. But also because Paul Thomas Anderson doesn't really stick to a genre.
Right.
You know, like There Will Be Blood is my favorite film of his.
Okay.
It is one of my favorite movies ever made. It is always in my top 5 and usually in my top 3.
Yeah.
It is not for everybody. There is not a single line of dialogue in the opening 20 minutes of There Will Be Blood. It is by and large considered to be like Daniel Day-Lewis's magnum opus or his masterpiece, if you will.
Sure.
But there's something about that movie that just it hits like a freight train for me. And I've probably watched it 15 times as a result. But his other really famous stuff goes back to like 1997's Boogie Nights.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Magnolia from 99.
Tom Cruise.
Punch Drunk Love from 2002.
Sandler. I think that was the last time that he made a modern film too, like a one that was current.
That isn't
a period piece.
Yes. Yeah. Then 2007, There Will Be Blood. 2012's The Master with Joaquin Phoenix and Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yep.
Which I have watched the first 45 minutes of several times and fallen asleep every single time.
Wow.
That doesn't mean it's not good. It's just, some circumstantial evidence. Inherent Vice in 2014, Phantom Thread in 2017, which I did watch, but if you were going to try to convince a friend to watch Phantom Thread, and you were a straight male nearing 40, you'd have a really fucking hard time. It's about a dressmaker, but it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So that one reeled me in because I had already fallen completely in love with There Will Be Blood. So the PTA, Daniel Day-Lewis, the PTA DDL collab is not something I'm going to refuse. Then Licorice Pizza in 2021, which I don't think anybody saw, but some people enjoyed.
Got really good, if not interesting reviews.
And then 4 years later, here we are with One Battle After Another starring Leonardo DiCaprio. So I didn't know what to expect. You did a decent job of helping me out by lowering the hype levels a little bit.
I tried to, I seriously, but also kind of intentionally try to lower the bar a little bit for you.
Yeah, I picked up on what you were laying down, and it helped. It helped. But one of the things I think you and I have discussed in the past when it comes to movies and what we want in a theater experience is like, you want to have fun. You want to feel like you went on a ride. And this movie, perhaps more than any other I have seen in the past 5 years, takes you on a ride. It is a thrill ride from start to finish where you don't really know what to expect. Some of the time in the first 20 minutes, you don't really know what's going on.
Yep.
You're trying to figure it out for yourself. Teyana Taylor's running around blowing shit up. I was like, isn't that Iman Shumpert's ex-wife? I didn't even know she acted like that. Other than in the Kanye West music video Fade, which I watched a couple times because I was trying to learn how to dance for no other reason. Yeah. But dude, it was very intense, very, very fun, and I thought really satisfying. Like you leave this thing feeling like you had a good time and like you got something out of it. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd.
Can you do half stars on Letterboxd?
You can. Is
that new? Did they?
No. Okay. You've always been able to do half stars. You got to do half stars.
Have you ever given anything a 5 on Letterboxd?
Yeah, There Will Be Blood.
Okay.
And a few other movies like Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, Godfather Part 2. I think all my
Fast and Furious, Tokyo Drift.
Of course, yeah. But 5 stars is reserved for that's one of the best movies I've ever seen, and I will watch it again and again.
Okay.
So I didn't quite get all the way there with it, but you know, I think in part because, to be honest, like out of everybody in this movie, out of all the actors, you know, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Chase Infinity, Teyana Taylor,
Regina Hall,
I felt like Leo had the least to do, sort of. I don't think he really had to do anything he hasn't done before.
He's the straight man in this movie.
Yeah, a little bit. And he has some very funny scenes.
He does. And he's a kook, so in this movie. So
very kooky.
That's also weird to say.
He loves drugs and alcohol, sir.
And maybe I even want to take that back. He's not the straight man. There's not really a straight man.
Yeah, that's there. Everybody's a little crazy.
But what I want, I completely agree with you. You leave this movie and his performance is like
it's the least impressive,
the least showy.
Yeah.
Yes, and I definitely agree with that. And I thought it was solid. Like it was a fun Leo performance, and I think it's been. I like when because he has such little public persona, because he doesn't really do talk shows, because he doesn't really, until this movie, by the way.
Weird element of this.
Very strange that he started doing podcasts and late night talk shows.
He's on the Kelsey Brothers podcast.
Weird shit like that he does not do.
Blew my mind.
But before that, he just didn't do shit like that. So we don't really. He's always seems very serious and very reserved, and he doesn't really let us in. He does the weird hat and mask thing when he doesn't want to be photographed by the paparazzi, which is most of the time. So it's like you forget that he is very funny. He can be really, really funny. And he's gotten a couple of times to do that over the last like 5-ish years or so.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood being probably the best example.
Yes. But
that's the scene of him in the trailer freaking out because he can't stop drinking is an all-time great movie rant.
But this one again, like it's fun to watch him get to kind of like play around and sort of lean into like this like less attractive older version of himself as well. So I like the Leo performance a lot.
Harsh. We're all going to get old.
He's a great looking man. I'm just saying he plays into the old, that
to his
aging,
the
facial hair, and he's got like, I don't know if they did something with his hairline or if they just kind of like let it go crazy a little bit.
Well, especially because at the beginning of the movie, the first 20 minutes or whatever, you're dealing with like 20 years ago.
Yes.
And then it fast forwards 20 years and he's aged. They age him down.
He's kind of leaning into his beer gut that he likes to do. When he's not filming, he just kind of leans into that anyway.
Yeah.
He's having fun. He's not being. This is not a vain performance.
Right.
And so that's cool to see from him.
Yeah, which honestly was kind of unexpected too. Just because, again, when I think Paul Thomas Anderson, I'm thinking There Will Be Blood, and like no one has ever taken a performance more seriously or been more vain about it than DDL in There Will Be Blood. So, I mean, it's a fun Leo.
Yes,
a really fun Leo performance. And again, I don't want to undersell how funny he is and how funny some of these scenes are. There is a lot more comedy in this movie than I expected. Teyana Taylor was a shock to me as well.
Yeah.
I mean, she was really, really good.
She's awesome. Yeah.
Like a commanding performance. She demands your attention when she is on screen.
Yeah.
But no one in this movie is better than Sean Penn, which is unfortunate because he's incredibly hateable, both in real life and as his character in the movie.
Sean Penn is going to win an Oscar for this film.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
But in that same sentence, I want to say that I loved Benicio del Toro in this film. Like,
Yes,
he's my MVP. Benicio is from this film. Like it's my special little favorite performance. But Sean Penn is that's the showy, crazy, unhinged, like really gets to chew up scenery. Does like the ending when he's all disfigured. I mean, it's just like
it's unbelievable.
He's going to win. He's going to win the Pig Award for that one, and it's probably deserved.
Is that supporting actor?
Supporting actor. Yeah.
At the beginning of the movie, when you're first seeing the French 75 do their thing, they're going around freeing migrants and blowing shit up. And Teyana Taylor gets into a room with Sean Penn, handcuffs him to a chair or something, and then makes him get himself hard.
Yeah.
And you get the camera angle where the camera is like between his legs and there's just a boner tent on your screen.
Yeah.
That was so absurd. So absurd. That was like the first moment in the movie where I was like, okay, this is going to get weird. We're going to get real weird with this one. This is some weird shit.
Yeah.
But he like that. What was his character's name? What was Sean Penn's character's name in this thing? Can't freaking remember.
Yeah, what is it? It's something very specific. Why can't I think of it?
Colonel Stephen J. Lockjaw.
Lockjaw. Yes, Lockjaw.
Just like a caricature of every military stereotype you can imagine. And my God, was it infuriating and also incredible.
Well, let's take that opportunity to talk about what he's doing in this film with what amounts to be like a rogue military force that he has complete control over and can use at his disposal at his disposal and to his any whim,
right,
to clean up his own shit and better his own life with acceptance into this Christmas Adventurers White Supremacy Club. Were you?
It's just called the Christmas Adventures Club, Barrett. There's no white supremacy.
Were you surprised at how like topical that all ended up feeling and being like?
Yeah, what's really bizarre to me is that we've had other movies not come out over the past 2 months that were scheduled to come out that did not come out because studio, one of them was on Apple, and they felt it was too incendiary considering...
The TV show, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was a TV show, sorry.
The Chastain one, yeah.
Yes, yeah, Jessica Chastain.
Savant.
Because they thought it was too incendiary considering recent events and the political and social climate.
Right.
And yet this thing felt like it was completely tied in to the present political and social climate.
It's pretty crazy. Like, and I know that the stuff with immigration and ICE has been happening for a while now, but this reminded me of like some of those Homeland seasons where they were writing and filming like at least 12 months in advance, and then the show would come out and it would just be like on the nose for something that was happening currently.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, how did they do that? That's the feeling that I got for this. Like, Paul Thomas Anderson has notoriously, infamously been working on this film for like 20 years. He and Leo have been wanting to do this for at least the last 5. And like they just had to wait until schedules worked out and they could organize themselves to pull this off, and they had the right people behind it. And I'm wondering like how much, it kind of changed over those 2 decades of development and when they kind of like settled on this direction. Because again, like it had to have been well before we were really in like the throes of ICE doing what they're doing, and
mass deportation,
deportations, and
just the
attack
massive,
on immigrants in general.
Yeah, the massive political focus on migrants and immigrants and immigration.
Yeah, and so it's just it was really, I was kind of taken aback by how current it was, by how relevant that was. And it's not like, it's not so on the nose that there's any type of, like representative that's supposed to be any one particular political figure.
Right.
So
thank God.
Yeah, that was good, but it's still like, it was just like in this lane where you're like, and that was a piece of my review that I think, just docked at a half point or so for me, or somewhere in that range, because like I couldn't help but have this sense that people were rating it so highly because of how prescient it was.
I mean, yeah, I think for a lot of folks, this got the opposite of the way you handled it. It probably bumped it up a star or a half star.
Yeah,
because it was so current.
Yeah. No, exactly. That's the feeling I got.
Yeah. That's where the hype got a little out of control.
Maybe,
Well, let me put it this way. I don't think any of the people overhyping this movie were on a certain side of the political split in the United States, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't really know what to make of that going in. I'd seen a little bit of it, and I was like, oh, okay. Is this going to be political? Is this going to it's going to ruffle my feathers? What's going to happen here? But yeah, it was wild. I agree with your Benicio del Toro take as well.
Mm-hmm.
This dude never misses. Everything he's in, he's so incredibly enjoyable. And frankly, he's at a point where he probably doesn't get talked about enough with the greats, because his, like, you go through his IMDb, the guy's got an awful lot of classic movies under his belt at this point.
Yeah.
Between like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, The Usual Suspects, Sicario, the Sicario sequel, which I have not seen yet. The Phoenician Scheme. He's made his way into that weirdo's universe, the Wes Anderson universe.
Yeah.
He's in a bunch of those movies. You got Wes Anderson and PTA. You're dealing with a lot of weird white people, man.
Yeah.
And then now one battle after another. So yeah, Benicio del Toro is incredible in this. He has a lot of comedic relief as well. My God. And some of the, everybody does a few small beers is one of the most quoted lines in the movie.
Yeah.
But just his whole demeanor when they're in this, what is it, a bodega?
Big look for Modello in this movie.
Yeah.
They're already like the most popular beer in America, I'm pretty sure, or the most distributed. They overtook like Bud Light and Miller Lite at some point a couple years ago as like basically the most popular beer in America.
Yeah.
And you have to think that like this just,
It was to the point where I'm like, okay, did they do one of those deals? Like, did they do one of those advertising deals?
Was it a little product placement?
A little product placement?
I don't think it was.
Yeah, maybe not.
I think they thought about, this dude is Benicio del Toro Mexican? They are in deep Southern California.
Sure.
They're in California here in this film. So this is obvious. He's essentially like a Harriet Tubman style, not really a coyote because he's not getting people across the border. At least we don't see
it's
that.
Mexican Harriet Tubman.
But he's Mexican Harriet Tubman. So like
he's Puerto Rican in real life.
Okay. Feels like Modello would just be a natural beer for him to drink. It's a Mexican lager. It's very popular. It's available everywhere. But like, you think they had like a little bidding war maybe between like Dos Equis and Modello and...
I doubt it had a bidding war, but like they could have hit Modello up and been like, look, we're going to feature you pretty prominently in this movie. Yeah. Could you break us off a check for some of this production? Because we got to do $100 million in marketing or nobody's going to go see this thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe, but that was a funny little...
It was fun, yeah.
Little note that you could have classified this as a Modello commercial. Because as someone who hasn't had a drink in 8 years, I did leave the theater feeling like Modello was cooler.
Yes. I mean, just the bit of him always having a couple and like just handing one to Leo, like was really to Bob was a good bit.
Let's take a selfie. Have you seen the selfie?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's been generating like going crazy everywhere. I thought it was going to pop up like in the credits or something, but it is available online if you want to Google One Battle After Another selfie. You can find it. So Benicio was incredible. Chase Infinity, which is not a car dealership, and I thought it was going into the film.
Yeah.
I don't know her from anything else.
You do, though. You do.
What?
And I didn't catch this either. I had to look up her IMDb to realize that she was in something that we watched and covered a little bit. Presumed Innocent.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
She's the daughter.
She's the daughter.
It's a great role, too.
Yeah,
on Apple TV Plus. Great show.
I thought she was also excellent. I mean, the performances in this movie were all killer.
Yeah, everybody went off.
Everybody, yeah.
In their own right.
Yes.
But frankly, Chase Infinity had a lot to carry.
She did.
She had some of the biggest, most crucial scenes where she needed to show the emotion.
Yep.
And she fucking crushed it.
Yep.
So she was great as well. Damn, that's kind of like the only other thing she's done.
I know.
Presumed Innocent straight into One Battle After Another with Paul Thomas Anderson. That's fucking good start to her career.
Yep.
Did you catch, how PTA has one of the Haim sisters?
Yes.
In
Licorice Pizza.
Licorice Pizza.
Yeah, she's at the beginning of the film. Yeah.
No spoilers.
Are we doing spoiler free?
We're doing as much as we can anyway.
Okay.
She's not in it for very long.
Yeah.
But always good to see a Haim sister. I love Haim. That's how you pronounce it, right?
I think so. Haim, yeah.
Haim. Because I said ham for years, and I'm pretty sure it's Haim.
She's in the first 20 minutes of the movie. I kind of want to talk about some of the big scenes in this film that are the ones I kind of like reference, like that you'll think about a lot.
Okay, let me throw a name at you before you do it, though, so we include it. Wood Harris. Go ahead.
Yeah.
We can't forget Wood Harris.
No.
He's in this thing.
He is.
Wood Harris is back.
Yeah.
Because we're covering The Wire, and he's in the new PTA.
The whole first 20 minutes of the film, or however long it is, 30 minutes, that essentially sets the stage for the rest of the movie. The rest of the movie, really, really incredibly done. But the chase scene, essentially, where Teyana Taylor is running through the city, is absolutely like kind of jaw dropping. And I think that there's a scene at the end of this movie that utilizes some really creative camera work as well. All those scenes where something is really just like very, very visually interesting, I think they're also cool because you can tell that they were done for real. Like these are practical camera effects that they figured out or how to do or utilized or learned somewhere else. And they're just kind of like put into application here in the best possible way. But it's not a bunch of CGI. It all feels very real. Not to toot my own film buff horn, but I saw this in 70 millimeter, so it just like all has that kind of like perfect film grain on it as well.
Love that.
That little Grand Theft Auto shot, from the top of watching her run and like going into the parking garage and all that.
That was tight.
It was super, super well done. So much fun. The bank robbing scene, just everything in that first 30 minutes is really like captivating.
Yeah, and again, you can't really put this thing into like one genre box.
Yeah.
It's just action. A lot of it is action, I guess.
Yeah, it's an act. I think it's fine to call it like an action thriller.
But there's like heist stuff.
Yeah.
There's rebellion stuff, which is so hot right now. There is some romance in there.
Yep.
Some weird sex stuff.
Oh yeah.
There's political intrigue
Yep.
and it's and then a lot of comedy. So it's kind of got something for everyone,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Okay, let's do some spoilers now.
Okay.
So we're talking spoilers. If you haven't seen One Battle After Another, go see it. It's quite good. There's probably not that many theater slots left. It was already, when I saw it, was it last week or the week before that? It was already downgraded into one of the small little theaters.
Hate that.
And I didn't have the 70 millimeter option, so I watched it like a regular piece of shit. You know?
Yeah.
The relationship between Teyana Taylor's character and Sean Penn's character.
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
That's a really good question. And I frankly, I found it surprising. I think I caught on about halfway through the movie that, or I sussed it out maybe a little early. I was like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing here with
The parentage thing?
The parentage thing, yes. But they never really show any like penetration,
They do not.
and so we're not.
You're not sure what happens there with their little sexual rendezvous.
In fact, quite honestly, it just kind of looks like she gives him a reach around.
I thought he was getting pegged.
Or a rusty trombone. Or pegged, potentially. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of power dynamic stuff at play there.
I thought she put her firearm in his two-hole. I had no idea what was going on, man. I was so confused.
I think it's all on the table. Because I think that their relationship was perverse and about power dynamics at play.
Right.
Not really any type of,
There was no love.
There was no love. There was no romance there. Absolutely,
right.
To be sure.
Yeah, it seemed like it started because
there was lust from his end, but I think from her and then also this weird thing where he's obviously this very controlling, powerful man, and he's giving that away. He's being submissive, which is clearly like a kink for him in the bedroom with her.
Yeah.
And for her, it's kind of the flip. It's right. It's that she has domain and dominance over this ultra powerful guy.
Yeah, and there's a lot of racial stuff tied in there as well.
Yeah,
Obviously, he is a very much a white supremacist, and has this like forbidden lust for this black woman.
Yep.
And I think for her, it starts off as, well, she has to manipulate this guy to be able to keep doing what they're doing. I mean, when he follows her into the bathroom, he directly says, like, I know what you're up to. If you want to keep doing it, you're going to have to throw me a little something.
Yeah.
But then when they meet in the hotel, you're like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
And I'm with you. It's probably like 30 minutes before the reveal, the parentage reveal, I started to figure, I was like, oh no, damn it.
Yeah.
But I really liked the way all that was done. That was really cool. Like I thought I was going to hate it when they do the DNA test.
Sure.
But I kind of liked it. I liked what it said about like Leo and his,
Yeah, about parentage. It's a really interesting little, it was unexpected that kind of, that piece of the story where it's like, your parents are who raised you, not necessarily like who you're born to by blood.
Yeah, and to not have like some shitty twist on it.
Yeah.
Like as a stepdad, we get a bad rap a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So I like when we avoid that.
Yeah.
But yeah, their whole dynamic was insane. Leo becoming like a massive stoner who can't remember the
password,
the code, what time is it, was incredible. That meltdown he has when he can't remember. Him being led out of the immigration sting situation by these like three little Hispanic boys on skateboards, and him not being able to keep up or make that jump.
Incredible scene when he falls off the roof and down the tree and then gets tasered.
Yeah, there were like elements from both Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and A Wolf of Wall Street for Leo.
Yeah.
He's better at physical comedy than people give him credit for.
Yeah.
Like him falling down the tree and then getting tasered reminded me a lot of him on Quaaludes crawling out to the Lamborghini or Ferrari rather.
Yep.
Whichever it was. And like the dude could have been just a straight up comedy actor if he wanted to. Like he's that funny. Glad that he wasn't, because we wouldn't have gotten all this other classic cinema out of him. But yeah, I thought it was a blast. It was definitely one of the best movies I've seen this year, but that's also not saying that much. We don't see as many movies as we once did.
So that's a good point. And one of the things, because I was slightly lower on it than some other people were, or that slightly lower than the general consensus, I did think to myself, we've obviously had this discussion about how I don't really get to watch movies anymore. I was like, maybe I'm just out of practice with watching like
3 hour long
like cinematic film, right?
Yeah.
Like real film,
yeah,
quote unquote, capital F film. Because this is, and I thought about it, and this is the first movie like that I have seen in a long time. So I think that's why it's probably grown on me a little bit as the weeks have gone by, because I've just remembered how to kind of digest a movie like that and think about it, and the scenes and the performances have obviously kind of stuck with me. But yeah, I mean, I'm out of practice. The other thing that it really reminded me of is I have a very strange relationship with Paul Thomas Anderson films, in that I know that I would like all of them, and I know all of them. I know all of them by name. I know who's in them. I always want to see them when they come out. And yet the only one I can say with certainty that I've seen is Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
I'm desperate to see The Master. For some reason, I think I'm really going to like that movie. Phantom Thread, you don't have to sell me on that. It's about a fashion designer. Like, I am in.
Phantom Thread's incredible.
Like, I really want to see these films, and somehow they just have always they've always kind of bypassed me in a way. And I think the fact that this one did get the buzz of being such a great film, but also being like a one that you should see in theaters because of its action and its filmmaking, like that finally sucked me in to be, early on seeing a PTA film.
We're in a weird place now where movies are going to hit streaming services within a few months of being in theaters.
Yeah.
And it is extremely demotivating, depending on where you're at in your life, right?
Yeah. Great example. I really want to see this Oscar Isaac, Jacob Elordi, Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein movie. Just came out in theaters. It's going to be on streaming on November 7th. Like, what do you want from me,
Yeah. And I think that's part of the reason Leo and Benicio and the cast and PTA went out and did all the marketing that they did.
Yeah.
So, again, I don't know how Hollywood fixes that. It's not my problem, frankly. This is a good thing for us as on the consumer side of it. But for movies that are like, quote unquote, meant to be enjoyed in theaters, meant to be taken in a theater, in 70 millimeter or in the IMAX or whatever, like, it is a weird spot for these types of movies.
Yeah.
And that's why, I felt obligated to go.
So some of the interesting things that I've seen about this movie are that, like, basically film buff shit still is working really, really well. Like, this IMAXs sold out, crazy. VistaVision, if you could see it in VistaVision, which is how they filmed it, like, I think there were only like 10 theaters. Austin didn't have one. Sold out. 70 millimeter showings here in Austin. Really hard to get tickets for.
Yeah, I tried for 2 weeks.
We talked several months ago about how they pre-released like a year in advance the Nolan Odyssey tickets. Like, that shit is selling out.
Right.
So, like, if you can talk to that segment, like, you can at least kind of like have yourself a little bit of baseline. But yes, getting people in, regular ass people to regular ass theaters to see movies is harder and harder. But it's interesting how, like, the niche kind of stuff still hits a vein.
Yeah, it's just weird that.
And I'm absolutely there. Like, I'm like, that is something that I bite on. Is the kind of the special format.
So production for this is between 130 and 175 million. And the problem becomes, if you need to hit that 200 million plus box office revenue marker, you've got to hit the mainstream.
Right.
Because the film buffs aren't going to get you there on their own.
Right. Yes.
And
exactly.
That's where this movie fell into kind of a weird spot. It also, just because can't not mention it, the first several days I didn't see anything political. But then I started to see people complaining about the message this movie is sending. And this is on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's a very specific part of the internet. But it was a vocal minority that was basically saying this is dangerous and it could incite violence, which is just, for one, let's just call it what it is. That's insane. That's idiotic. It's a movie. And if we can't even do movies about rebels anymore, like, what are we doing here? So I think that hurt it as well. I think that the vibe that this movie and the message that it sends and what it's about did not appeal to a lot of people in this sort of moment that we're having here.
Yes, there is no question that one half of the population, at least a certain segment of that half, it will not be interested in this movie.
But I don't know that they would have anyway.
It's not a 4-quadrant film. I think that's right. I think you're.
It's
right.
not PTA's audience.
I've trained my algorithm pretty well. I saw none of that. I had no idea. I left the movie being like, how is there not more controversy about this? Yeah. And then I like searched for it, and I was like, oh, okay, Ben Shapiro has complained about it. Like, there have been some of these things. But
the people you would expect.
Yes. But for me, honestly, less than I would have predicted.
Given the story.
Yes, given the story and given the stature of this film and the way that people are talking about it, and that Leonardo DiCaprio, the biggest movie star in the world, is the star of it. Like, I'm honestly surprised that there hasn't been more. I expect that when award season rolls around and it's nominated for 14 Oscars or whatever, that might kind of like come back into play.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did not think that this film promoted political violence. It deals with the French 75 rebel group in a modern context, and we don't really have anything like that, quite frankly, in
No, we do not.
The U.S. There isn't actually an activist rebel group that operates to that degree.
But what's the comp?
I guess Antifa. Let's do air quotes because that isn't really a thing.
It's the anti-fascists, Barrett.
It's just They're
against fascism. And they're out there.
And they are out there. Yeah, I guess that's true. But yeah, nobody is blowing up an immigration property on the border. Nobody is like is
We've had some shit.
Like,
they've been popping shots at an ICE, station or whatever.
Yeah.
But nothing to the extent that the French 75 was going to.
Nothing that organized. Nothing that
Rebel-y?
Yes.
Terroristy?
Yeah.
Depending on which side you're on?
Not in my mind, and I like to think that I'm pretty impartial when it comes to that type of thing. But
yeah. Oh, last thing I want to talk on. Last 30 minutes. So the car chase.
Yes.
Nuns, love the nuns, the weed-growing nuns. Not sure what they're doing out there, but that's great. Love nuns who grow weed. The car chase with the up and the down, up and the down,
very
up
cool.
and the down.
Very, very cool.
I think it almost made my wife puke. She was like, I'm starting to get dizzy. I was like, lock in. It's the end. But that was awesome. The way that unfolded was incredible. When she hit the brakes, I was like, yes! I immediately knew what she was doing.
Yeah, that was
setting
sick.
A trap there.
That was beautiful.
That was badass. All in all, like I said, this thing being a genre-bending sort of epic action chase rebel movie I thought it was incredible. I had a lot of fun. And really, more than anything, that's the way that I like to judge movies. Like, did I enjoy this ride? Was this a really fun time? And was it smart? Just being fun puts you in the Fast and Furious zone, which is a little less my cup of tea. But if you're fun and smart, you're pressing the buttons.
Did you watch season 4 of Hacks?
No.
You have not seen the most recent season?
No.
Okay. All right. The guy that plays like the kind of the younger leader of the Christmas Adventurers Club is an actor named Tony Goldwyn, who pops up as the studio head in season 4 of Hacks. Just credit to him, because he pretty much only gets cast as that asshole white guy, whether it's like the president in Scandal or the studio exec in Hacks or any number of things that you've seen him in. But he is always that, like,
he's that guy.
A little too good looking asshole, tall white guy.
Smug,
very smug. God, he does smug good. I just want to shout Tony Goldwyn as another performance that just like,
yeah, he was great.
Is great.
He's the one that goes on the car chase, right?
No. That's another dude. He's the one that that invites his daughter.
Oh, yes.
His daughter's getting married, and he has lockjaw come through the back, basically.
I actually thought he was the president.
He might have been.
of the country
It's just later,
in that scene. I don't think he is, though.
No. Yeah. No, he's not the president.
Yeah. He's not even the head of the Christmas Adventurers Club.
No.
Because that's the
old guy.
He's so old that you're like, is he okay?
I want to be able to eat off of it.
Which was great because that's how I feel about a lot of our aging politicians. Is he okay?
Yeah.
So, great movie. This review has been brought to you by Raycon. Go to buyraycon.com/oysters to get 20% off the Everyday Earbuds Classic. So you've got some high quality earbuds to jam out with the next time you have a few small beers. Foundation Season 3. We both finished it. We wanted to make a couple of remarks on it here, so I want to make sure we have time to.
Yes.
Wow.
I did not see that coming, Ross.
I don't think anybody, well, maybe the people who read the books, but I am shocked by how they wrapped up this season.
Yeah. That was incredible.
For me, the mule thing ended up not working super well. It wasn't the best part of the season. Let me put it that way.
Yes, that's right.
It was fine. I didn't get angry about it. I still think Pilu Azbayek or whatever, what was he in Game of Thrones?
Euron Greyjoy.
Euron Greyjoy, the medieval pirate / in this case, space pirate. I think we're good here. We can stop trying this, but it was fine.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But we can let's cast this dude as something else for God's sake. The show or this season of Foundation was a little up and down the first 5 episodes or so, and then the last 3 were some of the best stuff that they've put out.
It's very, very strange because we kind of checked in off mic about it. You were way ahead of me, and so like I would watch 4, 5, 6 and kind of like talk to you a little bit about it. And yeah, about halfway through when we were doing like a galactic influencer thing with the Tauren and Beta storyline, I was like, what the hell is happening?
They were losing you there,
What is this show doing?
Yeah.
And then at the end of the, so it was very strange. The mule thing, as you just said, was like fine, I guess, with Pilu doing his pirate thing.
He just seemed too overpowered. His superpower was too easy.
Yeah.
He could just show up anywhere and just take over everybody's brains.
I didn't love the performance, especially through the first half. Again, he was better in the second half, but the Pritchard character was kind of losing me as well. Felt a little bit overacted. And then by the end of season 3, like there's no question that was the best season of Foundation.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of crazy how they like really like were yo-yoing me with storylines. Like I like this one, not sure how I feel about this one. I love this performance, don't really know about this one. And in the end, it like all came together and it really, really worked. They totally subverted my expectations. They came up with an ending that I thought was amazing and unexpected. And they do a cool little stinger at the end that sets up some crazy stuff for a season 4. And I just like, I couldn't have been happier with the way this thing did. Let me put it this way. I was going to YouTube watching the nerdy 25-minute explainer videos for episodes 9 and 10.
Because you were so engrossed.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a good sign. Yeah,
shouts to those nerds that do those videos on YouTube also.
The hardcore breakdowns?
Because those things are sick.
Yeah, they are.
And I don't know how y'all do those, but you're good at them. And
those are great.
Yeah. You've got a real skill.
Yeah, so going into season 3, there was a lot of concern from Foundation fans because of production issues between seasons. I think they got like a new showrunner, and there was all kinds of shit going on.
Budget was lowered.
Yeah. Which probably needed to happen, frankly. The budget was maybe a little out of control there the first 2 seasons for what this show is. And I don't think they needed as much of a budget for this season. And you could feel that they'd scaled it down. You could feel it a little bit. Mm-hmm. But it worked. And especially when it was all said and done. Like, I had no idea what to expect in the way of an ending for season 3. When it came and punched me in the face, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then the immediate big question you have for yourself is like, what the hell is next season going to be? Because they already got renewed for season 4.
Yeah.
So I really don't know what to expect. I'm not even sure I saw the stinger.
I just mean like the kind of like the coda, like everything happens, like we know where like spoilers for season 3, but Dusk has essentially ended the Cleonic dynasty and taken over for himself. There will be no more clones following him, right? Like he is now in charge.
But you think that's for real?
Yeah. And
because that's a huge loss of firepower for this show. Like as I've said, the entire show's run so far, the Cleons,
Yep.
Particularly Brother Day,
Yep.
like that performance and that character, like that's a huge part of the draw for me.
Well, they have got ways to keep Lee Pace on the show. I don't think he's gone.
Okay.
Yeah. There's some stuff hanging out there that indicates that he'll probably come back as a different, as a character still.
Huh.
There's some Day-ish characters out there. Notably, remember when the one Dawn escapes and goes off with the princess, and then we never came back to that?
Vaguely. Didn't he get sucked out of like a spaceship into...
And that's in this season. In season 2, one of the Days escapes with the princess lady.
Oh yeah, and they just never get him back?
They never get him back.
Oh shit. Okay.
That's still out there and,
that helps.
And is probably coming back into play.
Okay.
Like their lineage.
Got you.
So a middle-aged great-great-great-grandson of them can still be played by Lee Pace, basically. So after all that, we like the little robot head starts talking about its handshake or whatever, and we cut to the moon from the moon of Earth,
Earth's moon,
and there are those two fucking robots standing there talking shop.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't. Does
There's
this show
more
going
robots.
is this going 10 seasons?
There's more robots, Ross.
It's fucking insane show, but really good. I've been loving it, man.
I also think that because I imagine Demerzel downloaded some information or something into that other robot head. Like I think she'll be back too. I think we're gonna find a way to get her like back on the show.
Yeah, I mean that's my first thought when this thing ended was like, okay, well there will be some kind of loophole that brings back probably Demerzel, probably the Brother Day, Dawn, Dusk situation.
I agree with you that the Cleon was a really cool storyline, but I also am happy to see it evolve, which it already did this season.
We
got the least amount of Lee Pace and Jared Harris that we've gotten.
By far.
And
I loved this version of Brother Day.
That is amazing. What do they call him? Brother Dude? Right?
Yeah, because he's got the robe on and just wants to abide, man. He's just doing drugs. He just wants to get high with his hooker.
But really, really great stuff.
His hooker, who it turns out is part of a robot cult.
It's part of a robot cult. That's right. And I just like the Dusk storyline. I just didn't see that coming. I thought he was going to be like a little rat bastard, try to flee, that type of thing. Try to work it out so that he could stay around longer.
Yeah, but not what he did.
But not what he did, which was. It was shocking. That's why you watch TV for moments like that.
I don't know that actor's name, but he deserves as much credit as anybody else on this show for what he's done with Dusk and the multiple iterations of him through 3 seasons. This one in particular, where you know he doesn't want to go.
Yes,
he's reviewing footage of other Dusks going and shit, and he doesn't want to go. He's not ready to die, but you at no real point get like an inkling that he's going to go full psychopath.
But I'm mad at myself for not picking up on it when he kills the ferret, because that was the giveaway.
Yeah,
that something's fucked.
That he had some dark shit going on inside.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
And
anyway.
I was just like, I literally watched that scene twice because I was like, did I miss something when he leaves with like what why did he do that? I rewatched that god awful scene, trying to pick up something, and I was like, huh. Weird.
So violent.
Yeah, and now I know.
Yeah. Great season to Foundation. Very stoked for those of us who are in that hive that we got the results we did out of this season. We're looking forward to season 4, which will probably come out in 2027 if I had to guess. Slow Horses season 5. Okay, Slow Horses famously puts one out every year. 6 episodes a season. You and I were not huge fans of season 4. It wasn't their best work. Let me put it that way. We've been very, very high on this show basically since its inception. But season 4 didn't all the way do it for me. I feel like I remember you feeling the same way. I could be speaking out of turn for you here.
No, season 4 was a bit of a down. It was not up to snuff.
It just wasn't their best shit, and it happens, Season 5 so far. How many deep are we? Are we 4 in?
We're 5 in if you're all the way caught up.
5 in.
Yep.
How are you feeling about this one?
I wasn't sure through the first 3. Like I was enjoying it, but I was like, they really have not it's very, very, very bare bones, like in a way. They don't tell you who the bad guys are. There's not a lot of extracurricular stuff happening with like grandfathers and other stuff. It's just like something bad is happening to the city and these dudes are on the loose and MI5 is trying to figure out what's happening. By episode 5, I'm like, okay, this was the right call to kind of like boil it down a little bit and just give us like the straight dope, basically.
Yeah.
No weird dad stuff, granddad stuff, super soldier, guy in France coming, like all that stuff just kind of lost the plot a little bit.
It did.
And this is just like the basics of like, this is just good, clean spy stuff.
More Slough House, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the same reaction to the first 3 episodes as you. First episode, I was so happy when the credits rolled. I was like, they're back.
Yeah.
They have recaptured what made this show so fucking good. Just let these characters, let Gary Oldman cook. Let him cook. And then give me the side characters, doing their thing as well. But don't overcomplicate it. Certainly don't sell me on the same shit as you did last season because that didn't work.
Yep.
This also feels prescient and timely. Like the terrorism aspects of it, the way some of this stuff is going down is very relatable to our modern, present, real life society. But to me, this has been their best shit, maybe since season 1 or 2 even. I feel like they have recaptured the fastball and they are cooking again. And I'm so stoked about Slow Horses right now.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ever gonna like ride the same high as I did on season 1, and that's okay.
That's okay.
But this feels the most like season 1 yet.
I'm getting there. It's getting me toward that high.
Here's one thing. Let me get your taste on this. Through the first 4 seasons, I always thought that like River was the guy, the kind of redhead, the guy that we've sort of considered our 1B character.
Yeah.
I've always thought he was kind of like just a bad luck good spy, right?
Yeah.
But he always kind of ends up sticking his foot in his mouth or stepping in it in some way. Finally, I feel like in this season, I'm like, okay, he's not really a good spy.
He's not great at this.
He's kind of a piece of shit, just like the rest of the Slow Horses.
Right.
Like you think that he's above and better, but he's not.
Yeah. There's a reason he's there.
There's a reason he's there. And I feel like I'm very curious if in the books, and each season is basically based off of one of these, Mick Herron, I believe is the author's name, is basically based off of one of these books. I'm curious if that's a little bit more obvious throughout, that he's
also
not
a fuck up.
He is also a fuck up. He is not a brilliant spy that has fallen on bad luck by ending up in Slough House. He is a fine spy that is not a great one because he always fucks up.
Yeah, he makes big mistakes.
He makes very big mistakes, and that is why he is not,
a regular MI5 agent. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
But this thing with the paint pot is like finally kind of sealing that up for us.
But it wasn't his fault at all.
I know, but
it's a perfect example of what you're talking about. Just wrong place, wrong time, terrible luck. In fact, you could blame it on the other guy that never takes his goddamn headphones off.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, you definitely could, but
he hit the paint can, not River.
I know, but just the whole thing,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This is the type of shit that he does, that happens to him.
The fact that they are the ones who end up accidentally committing the political assassination was gold. Yeah. Pure gold. So Slow Horses season 5 has been awesome.
Yeah.
I'm stoked that show is kind of getting back to its old ways. I want to rattle off a few things I've seen recently on our way out here. Weapons, directed by Zach Kreger. I ended up renting it a couple of weeks ago, so I paid like $8.99 or whatever. Okay. It's on HBO Max now. I could have waited a couple more weeks and been just fine, which again speaks to the problem we pointed out earlier.
Yeah.
Weapons was incredible. I gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd. By the way, follow me on Letterboxd. I'm Boss Rollin' on Letterboxd. It's Ross Bolin with the B and the R reversed. Best horror movie I've seen this year. One of the best of the last 5 years at least.
Wow.
The thing about... Okay, Zach Kreger did Barbarian.
Yeah.
Right? Barbarian sort of falls into the bucket of horror movies that I have a hard time selling my wife on watching with me, where there's no purpose.
Yeah.
There's no real message that you're getting out of it other than it is scaring the shit out of you and messing you up and making you think about it and making you horrified or disgusted or all of the above. Weapons has very clear-cut messaging.
Okay.
Right? It's an analogy, or you know what I mean? It's like people have said this movie is about mass shootings. People have said this movie is about addiction, drug and alcohol addiction, trauma recovery. Like there's very clear things to draw from it. So you're not just going in to get the shit scared out of you and to have some fun or whatever. Like it's also deep. There's depth to it. And the performances are incredible. I always forget the girl's name from Ozark.
Julia Garner.
Julia Garner.
Yep.
You're gonna have to fucking kill me. She's awesome. I hope to see her in more stuff. Josh Brolin is incredible. Austin Abrams, who I'm not sure I was familiar with prior to this, was really, really, really good. Benedict Wong is great. Everybody in this, it's very well cast. It's very well played. Mm-hmm. I think this is one that Pedro Pascal was initially attached to instead of Josh Brolin.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and I could have seen that work, but Josh Brolin did great with what he had. Amy Madigan is the villain. Super interesting villain / monster in this one. That kind of goes outside the normal horror stuff. That it felt very fresh. It felt very new and creative. I loved Weapons, and you can watch that one on HBO Max now. It's a good time because it's Halloween.
It is.
That's the week of Halloween.
The what I might start for Halloween week is something a bit lighter, maybe Wednesday on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I'm going to be able to sell my wife on it. Welcome to Dairy. What is it called?
It is
Welcome to
Dairy.
So it is it.
It.
Welcome to Dairy.
Welcome to Dairy.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be able to sell that one.
Well, I wouldn't even try, Barrett, because I'm going to tell you something about It Welcome to Dairy now that is going to keep that from ever being a real possibility. So I watched the series premiere of It Welcome to Dairy last night, and if you like the It movies, I think you'll like this. It is essentially Stranger Things with more violent, disturbing imagery. Okay, which as Stranger Things has gone on, it has gotten more violent and disturbing. But you know how for the most part, Stranger Things is like a 1980s throwback adventure story where you're watching kids try to figure out a mystery. That's the bulk majority of It Welcome to Dairy. The problem is, for people like your wife or mine, who did not and will not be watching this with me, is that in the first 10 minutes, essentially the setup is the same as the It movies, where the town is like, oh, some kid went missing, and then some kids are like, we should figure out where that kid went, and then they figure out that like, oh my god, this town is totally haunted, and there's a clown and it has balloons, and you know. So when the initial kid goes missing, and this is light spoilers, but frankly, I don't think this can be spoiled for you. Essentially, there's a point where he's kidnapped. And he's in a car riding with a seemingly normal family, a mother, a father, and 2 children in the back seat with him.
Okay.
But over the course of about this 10-minute car ride, you start to realize, I don't think these people are normal or friendly. By the end of the car ride, you are watching the mother in the front seat give birth to a flying demon baby that is heavily involved in the remainder of the episode. And it is incredibly disturbing and ridiculous, and frankly, this is what I have to say about It Welcome to Dairy. The flying demon baby didn't work for me. It didn't work for me. Everything else about this episode I thought was really solid, but the weird demon baby, and I realize this is what Pennywise does. Pennywise puts super weird, disturbing 80s horror imagery out into the world and scares the shit out of people. I get that. But this fucking thing was stupid. It was borderline funny, and it just straight up didn't work.
Okay.
I will probably be along for the ride for this, but I can't recommend it in good conscience based on the series premiere. Monster, the Ed Gein story, starring Charlie Hunnam.
Yep.
Incredible performance. I'm watching it. I'm almost done. It's been a really fun ride. The only element of it that keeps throwing me off is it's wildly historically inaccurate. Like wildly inaccurate. Ed Gein caught 2 bodies in real life. I think he's like 9 deep in this show where I'm at. And they're tying his character or his story to the creation of the movie Psycho, and then to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which the Psycho part is actually apparently very real. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, he's somehow inspired as well. I don't know. It's doing really cool, fun stuff. You're dealing with Alfred Hitchcock in a separate storyline, and you're dealing with the creator of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It ties Ed Gein to essentially the modern day horror genre in Hollywood being born, which is cool. It gets into the psychology of it and how after World War II and the Holocaust, human beings were no longer scared by the same stuff that they were prior because they had seen real monsters in real life and the real capacity that human beings had to do damage to one another. Mm-hmm. That all makes sense. That's a very cool ride. All in all, this has been awesome. Charlie Hunnam might get nominated for some stuff for this. I have no idea how they talked him into this role, but it is incredible what he's been able to do with it. Like, It feels like a role that could honestly change the course of his career. Like, he might get booked for a lot more serious shit after this. Because he fucking kills it as Ed Gein. And it is not a role that you would sign up for, like, just to put something on the opposite end of the spectrum. You'd be stoked to play Batman.
Right.
This is the complete opposite. No normal, sane person would be excited to play this character, and the guy has absolutely dominated it. So Monster, the Ed Gein story on Netflix is really good and really fun. Just keep in mind, after you watch it, you should maybe Google the real Ed Gein and pick the things out that are actually factual. The Chair Company, Tim Robinson on HBO. I've stayed caught up with this. I feel like all 3 episodes have been the exact same. I'm still down for it because I love Tim.
Is it funny?
Yeah, but it's the most normal version of anything, most normal product he has created yet. Okay. In terms of like, I tried to get my wife to watch I Think You Should Leave. She made it like, through 2 sketches and was like, you're a child, and walked away. Right. My mom tried to watch I Think You Should Leave, and she was like, yeah, this just isn't for me.
Yeah.
My mom is watching The Chair Company, and she's like, God, he's such a weirdo, but I can actually watch this. Like, there's a narrative and a story, and it's not all goofiness. Tim Robinson's little comedy will come up here and there, and it's very awkward and cringe still and hilarious if you like it. But the gist of it so far is like, if you're a Tim Robinson fan, this is definitely worth a watch. Otherwise, I'm not sure yet. Because I've left all 3 episodes feeling kind of the same way I did with the one prior.
Okay.
It's not really building anything yet.
Interesting.
And then finally, I watched The Woman in Cabin 10 with my wife, Keira Knightley. Believe it's on Netflix.
Okay.
Based on a book. My wife loved the book, so we watched the movie. You don't need to watch the movie.
Never heard of it.
You don't need to watch it. You don't need to. You just don't. It's just not good. It's very, very bland. Guy Pearce, your boy Guy Pearce is in it.
Yeah.
Dear friend of you and the podcast.
That's right.
Because you saw him at the gym one time.
Yeah, and we took a picture.
Yeah. Hannah Waddingham.
Yeah, from Ted Lasso.
From Ted Lasso. She's awesome. She's in it. She's good. Keira Knightley, I love. But all in all, it's not a good psychological thriller. Okay. I give it like a C-. So if you got nothing else, fine. But I can't really recommend it. Anything else you've been watching you want to throw in there?
Yes, quickly. I just wrapped up Platonic season 2.
Oh yeah, I hear good things about this.
Rose Byrne, Seth Rogen doing their thing. Very funny. I quite enjoyed season 2. If you're not, it definitely is a little bit like of that kind of stress cringe humor. But I think if you enjoyed things like Neighbors, then you'll like what they're putting down.
They're both in Neighbors, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They are together romantically in Neighbors. They are platonic in Platonic.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. I mentioned Hack Season 4, which obviously aired months ago, but it was incredible. I thought it was... The quality of that show has not diminished for me. I know people have felt that maybe Season 3 and then Season 4 were...
like his Jumping the Shark?
Not as good as Seasons 1 and 2, and I just flat out disagree. I was really, really stoked to see... Hannah Einbinder. Yes, Hannah Einbinder win an Emmy for Ava, along with Jean Smart continuing to win for playing.
Has she won 3 now?
Deborah,
yeah.
Deborah Vance.
Deborah Vance.
So that's great. We have talked about both spies and political intrigue on this podcast today. All of that to say, I cannot wait to dive into The Diplomat season 3. Which just came out on Netflix.
My wife is in there. She loves it. My dad's watching it too.
Yeah, fantastic show, especially if you're close to 40 like me. What else I got?
He's closer than I am. I'm further away. Just for the record.
Yeah, I think that's it. I keep adding stuff to my list. Like, I don't know. My wife wants to watch Wednesday, which I mentioned. Only Murders in the Building season 5. I need to catch up on. Diplomat. There's a lot of stuff coming out. So
cool. I also gave Eddington 4 stars. I loved Eddington. It was really good. Barrett, you should watch that at some point.
Okay.
And I watched the new Superman, which I thought was dog shit.
Okay.
It was just didn't really do anything for me. It is what it is. All right, Barrett and I will be back next Friday with our discussion and review of the series premiere of Pluribus. In the meantime, we'll also be back later this week on patreon.com/oysters, clams, cockles to discuss and review Season 2, Episode 1 of The Wire. We are doing Season 2. We are diving straight in. Get on Patreon. Enjoy The Wire with us. We have a companion podcast for every single episode of Season 1 out and available for you right now. It's friendly to rewatchers and first-timers. Get in there. Patreon.com/oysters, clams, cockles, where we will be back later this week with our Season 2 premiere podcast for The Wire. Love y'all. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for riding with us. Check out Barrett on social media at Barrett Dudley. I am at WR Bolin, unless you're on Letterboxd, where I am Boss Rollin. Until next time, keep doing what you're doing.